Okay, I'll move on to the next topic called internal check. Uh, Internal check. See, this is a very interesting concept, I can say. Even we can implement in each and every home, to be frank. Internal check means, see, under the internal control, the top management will be there. There will be a team of experts. They will allocate the duties and they will look after that. And ultimately, each and every person will report to the management itself about their performance of the particular duty. But in the internal check, there will be a case like that one person will do the work and his work will be checked or cross verified by the other person, and that person's work will be verified, cross verified with some other person. So it will be like a chain link of verification, serial verification. So I will do a work and I want to send my particular work for the next department or some other higher official, I can say. So he will work and he will cross verify my work and he will do his work, and both these works will be checked by any other person. So like this the system will be designed in a company, that is called internal check. See, American Institute of Accounts, again the same institution, it defines internal check is a system under which accounting method and details of an establishment, accounting methods, so the preparing the methods to prepare the accountancy and even the operations of the business are are so laid out, means they are arranged such that the accounting procedures are not under the control of any one person. Please note this point, which means one person should not have a complete control over a particular job. For example, if I am an accountancy, generally in a company the accounts or the control over the accounting records will be under the hands of a chief accountant or ultimately the chief financial officer. But we should ensure that the complete control over preparation of accounts should not be given to accountants, which is very much dangerous. So internal check is a system which is designed to avoid this problem of giving complete control over a single hand or complete control to a single person. That is absolute and independent control. Absolute means 100% complete control, and independent is he will not be supervised or he will not be looked after by anybody. He is the what we call generally as one man army for that particular work. For example, if I am a small scale enterprise and I have only one accountant and I don't have any superior over that accountant, only he is the one who is taken complete initiative of doing accounts. So that is called independent control and absolute control. So in internal check is a design or a system designed in such a way that accounting procedure should not be given completely under control of one person. Not only accounting, it may be of any work. According to your syllabus, this is what I discussed earlier. You have various aspects for which internal check is to be discussed. For example, how internal check will work under the sales procedure or sales department, how internal check will be working under cash department. So all these aspects I'll discuss from tomorrow or probably from Monday, but this is a general idea of an internal check. In the second paragraph they have clearly mentioned, on the contrary means as opposite to control by one person, the work of one employee is complementary of that of another, which means one employee doing a work will be mutually related with the other company. I mean other the other worker in the same department or in the same company, and that is called complementary. And that a continuous audit of the business is made by the employees, which means, see, if there are 10 employees and each and every department, if I have the internal check system, that means one work will be checked by the other 9 members. Say if I have a 10 members in a department, this means I'm auditing at each and every step of the business. Auditing means examination or verification of the books, verification of the particular activity. So at each and every stage there will be an auditing. So that is called, it's a continuous audit. And who will do who is carrying out this audit function? The employees of the company itself. So this is the main purpose of the internal check. One is they should not give control to anybody, and they should see that one work when the work made by one person will be checked or cross verified by the other person, and ensure that this is like a continuous auditing which is made by the employees themselves. So let's move on to the objectives of internal check, which is why we need an internal check, why we need the concept of internal check. Obviously, to eliminate the frauds and errors, because at each and every stage, if the person is cross verifying the other person's work, then almost the errors and frauds will be at zero level. We cannot say that it is completely eliminated, and it cannot be also. So it can be avoided to a maximum level. To bring moral pressure among the staff, which means if there are two persons who are responsible to each other. So for example, if my work is my work is cross verified by the other person, and his work is cross verified by me, that means for any fraud happening in a particular work, we both are responsible, which means we have a pressure, we have a moral pressure on us to be working genuinely and not to make any errors and frauds. So like that, it brings a moral pressure on the staff. And then to allocate accountability and responsibility, which means, as I said, when the internal check happens, each and every person has his own responsibility and his accountability, and his accountable also, which means he, for any of the problems that is happening in that particular work, he is the ultimate answerable person. So that is called accountability. And when we do all this, obviously we will increase the overall efficiency, which is another goal of internal check, to increase the overall efficiency. This one is accurate and reliable records of transaction. So when there are no frauds, when the employees are working under a moral pressure, and when efficiency is improved, obviously the accounting records will be more accurate and it is more reliable. We can trust them easily. So with regard to allocation of work, one of the goals is to allocate work in such a manner that no transaction should be omitted, that is left out from the recording or verifying. So this should ensure if the departments or the works are connected between the people, the chances of leaving out or missing a transaction from the books will be almost zero. So they will allocate in such a manner that no transaction will be omitted, that is left out from recording, that is being written in the books of accounts or being verified by the company personnel. Any doubts with this internal check and objectives?
No, sir.
No, sir. Okay. So let's move on to principles of internal check. So we can also say that the features necessarily to be having in the internal check. One is simplicity. So internal check means you should not design the system so complicatedly that one work should be verified by 100 people. That is complex. That is complicated manner. So the internal check should be simple. It should be restricted only with a particular department or only with some people, which is very simple. Okay, easily understandable and easily executed. Adequate number of staff. To verify the transaction between the people, we should have sufficient number of people for working in the department to conduct internal check. If there are less people, then each of the individual will get more burden, and if there are more people, then there will be chances of the happenings of more errors, and even the system also becomes complicated. Third concept is division of work, which means you will allocate the work in the internal check in such a manner that each and every person will get his own duty, will get his own responsibility, and for the work he is allotted, he will be answerable to the top management. So whatever the mistake happens over there, the management will question him and he should be ready to face the situation. That is called accountability. Fourth is coordination and harmony. Again, in the internal check, as there is a need, there is a mandatorily the people should work together. So in such a case, obviously there should be having coordination and harmony between them. There should not be any personal conflicts, because for each and everything, both or three of the all the persons involved will be responsible, will be held responsible. So they cannot simply take revenge on other person because of his personal conflict, because ultimately even he will be suffering. So that's how they should maintain coordination and harmony. And fifth point is rotation of work, that is, sorry for the typing mistake, rotation of work, which means, see, for example, in the initial stages I will be in the department of production, allocated for the job of internal check. But I work, but to some extent, I mean, to some period, I will work, and later on, I come to know that how the system works, and I will find the loopholes in that particular system. So immediately, the management should be aware of such people who are very much experienced and who can find out loopholes, and they will shift those people to other departments. For example, if I was in the production department, immediately after some experience in that, I will be shifted to accounts department to do the internal check in that, which is completely new. So by this way, the management is avoiding people to making frauds or to misuse the loopholes available in the system, so they cannot take the disadvantage of that particular system. If I'm very much expert in the production department, then I know where I can cheat the company, where I can get my personal benefit. But if I altogether shifted to a new department, then again there I should learn the work from the beginning. So I don't know where are the loopholes that I can cheat the people, cheat the company. So in this way, the rotation of work should happen in the internal check. Recreation leave. So this is very much important and an interesting thing. Similar to our lockdown case, sometimes the company should provide leave for the people to avoid the fraudulent companies, to avoid the fraudulent activities. Some companies can work like this, they will give leave for the companies or the top people who are involving or who have the most of the control over that particular work. The company will provide leave for them, because if they are out of the company, then they can easily find out the frauds what which are made by them. Because if the person who is having more control is within the company during the time of verification, then he can obviously do every each and everything as a fraud or mistake. He can do anything, and he can change the system to as and what as and like he want. So sometimes it's advisable that some people should be given leave so that the company will be at safe position. Use of automated machines. Machines not only related to hard machine, we can, it's nothing but use of technology. You all know Tally, right? How many of you have working experience in the Tally? At least in education mode, have you worked in the Tally?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Please wait. Don't mute. See, will you prepare all journal entries, ledger, cash books, and the balance sheet, each and everything? Will you prepare separately in
No,
your
sir.
Tally?
Yes, sir.
No,
No. What you'll prepare?
just we'll entry in a journal, so it can be copied to the
Yes.
cash book or any other books.
So just if you prepare a perfect journal entry, then automatically all the, if you just prepare the journal entries, then automatically you will have other statements made ready by the system itself. You don't prepare each and every statement separately, just you will prepare with the journal entry. And once you prepare a perfect journal entry, then the ledger will be automatically updated, with the trial balance will be automatically updated, and the balance sheet also. So, and you don't need any separate person to check all the things, because that's a company, and that's a computer software built in such a way that it doesn't do any mistake. So that mission or a particular technology has helped you to do the internal check, has helped you to give more efficiency, give more accuracy, and reduce the work burden. So in such a way, you should check the automatic machines. Even in other sense, we can use, generally this will be a common case in banking. For example, if you want to deposit rupees 40,000, okay, you will go with all the 2000 notes, which is 20 in number. Hello? Yeah, which is 20 in number. And the cashier does not count each and every money physically with his hand. He'll just put it into the machine, and the machine will give accurate data of how many currency notes are there. So again, the machine helped him in his efficiency of the work. Such like that, we can use the machines and technology for the better working of the internal check system. Monitor and follow up, which means same as supervision and review. Nothing changes. Monitor is the supervision things, and follow up is giving suggestions, giving comments about the particular work. Organization of documents means we should classify, we should set the documents ready in such a manner that there will be no confusion between selection or working on the particular documents. You will set the documents in such a way, you have all the purchase bills at one file, you will have all the sales bills at one department, you will have the journal book separate, you will have the cash record separately. So in such a manner, if you organize the documents correctly, and which is helpful in making the internal check more efficient, that will be very good, and this should be followed as a principle in the internal check system. Complementary work. So this is the fundamental thing in the internal check. This is the blood of the internal check. One complementary work means one person checking the work of another person. That's called complementary work, and without complementary work, there is no meaning for internal check. So similar to how we discussed internal control, we also have essentials of internal check. That is to say that an internal check is good and efficient, we need some of the criteria here. First thing is, single person should have absolute control. Obviously, as we discussed, if one person has complete control over the thing, he can misuse. Same staff should not have the access to everything. It is similar to job rotation. That is, one person should not control or should not have access to many things. Okay, so again, he will find the loopholes in everything, and he can exploit that loopholes. Every member is responsible for his or her specific work along with his coordinator or partner of the work, which means if, as we discussed again and again, the work allotted will be accountable and responsible. So if I allot a work, you are responsible, and if anything happens, I will question you also and your teammate also, who has the responsibility of checking your work. So for any one mistake, minimum 2 or 3 members will be under problem. Rotation of work and change in responsibilities. So again, in the internal check, there should be a continuous rotation of the work and change in the responsibilities also. And use of technology. So if you have all these things, that is control not only with the one person, and the regular rotation of work, changing of responsibilities, and accountability of many people for a single work, and use of technology. If you have all these criteria, then we can say that particular internal check is implemented in a right manner in the particular company. Again, we also have some extended points with this. Every transaction has specific root and personnel, which means every transaction cannot be, as we discussed, it's a systematic manner. You cannot, everybody cannot check with every transaction, or it should not be random. For one particular transaction, there will be a specific route in which it is checked, in which it will go through various hands, and for every transaction, different people are allocated. Documents and record are organized well in advance. So this is similar to principle of organization of documents. Too much reliance on any staff is not suggested, obviously, because you cannot trust any one person 100%. He should be supervised by anyone, and his work should also be verified by other person. Prefer to have check on day-to-day transaction, which is very much important. Internal check should be done on a day-to-day and continuous routine basis. You cannot have internal check any once in a month or once in 6 months. Then there is no use, because you don't get sufficient data. You don't have what we can say, you don't have sufficient data. You can lose the records very much. Everything can be possible, right? So that's why we should prefer to have internal check on day-to-day basis. Allocated work should not be too much or too less for a staff. That's why we should have adequate staff, and we should delegate the work in such a manner that one single person should not get too much of work beyond his capability, or less than the work beyond what he is able to do. So all these are essentials of good internal check. Last point is advantages. I will discuss these advantages in all these previous slides. So any point you can ask me. Division of work, we discussed. Reduce burden, easy avoidance of errors and frauds, increased efficiency of the organization, convenient to the auditor. This is not discussed. If the internal check is such a way that it is efficient, so obviously the documents are organized, the frauds are reduced, and whatever the details we want, they are readily available. So all these things will make the work of external auditor easy. So the convenient to the external auditor. This, if internal check is properly implemented, then the work of the external auditor will be convenient and easy. So increased rate of accuracy and reliability. That is, you can trust the accounts in a, what we say as blind trust. We can trust them like that. Coordination between the departments, and members cannot escape from their accountability or responsibility. So all these